Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Welcome back again. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and we are going to go ahead and follow up on a previous subject we covered before, the Ataribox. Let's go ahead and get the introductions out of the way. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Grey Mouse One.
Okay, we previously made a video a few months ago regarding the Ataribox. Basically, the French Chesney is the new corporate owner of Atari. Basically made it official that he wanted to go ahead and put out a brand new Atari console. The first Atari console that Atari has put out officially onto the market in over 21 years. And that details were going to go ahead and come out. The only thing that anybody had to, as far as information or anything at all, was there was a 40-second video of what looked like a plastic box with the Atari logo on it and with some LEDs. Okay, and you can see that if you went to, I believe, www.ataribox.com, which is where you can sign up for newsletters and stuff like that. Now, we all had our views based off of the information that they put out. Just recently, they actually went ahead and they sent out an email. It was another press release where they updated everybody who was attached to those mailing lists. Okay, where within that email, it had new pics, and it had more tidbits of information. All right? Well, let me go ahead and cover this this really quick. All right? Link to the email below in the description. All right? Now, the first thing that he shows is a whole bunch of pictures, and says, the pictures were shared today of our first prototype. Everyone that has seen Ataribox firsthand loves it, feeling the Atari 2600 influence while still being a modern design. Ataribox will be powered by an AMD customized processor with Radeon graphics technology. It will run Linux with a customized, easy-to-use interface. This approach means that as well as being a great gaming device, Ataribox is also a full PC experience for the TV, bringing you streaming, applications, social browsing, music, and more. Okay, right now at this moment in time, I already have thoughts. Guys, what are your reactions to those tidbits of information right there?
Okay, look. So this thing is basically going to be internet driven, but we still don't have anything about games for it, or how they're going to get you games to this thing, or what type of games are going to be for this thing.
Well, it does mention something about that in the next two paragraphs. But what about you, Grey Mouse? What are your thoughts on that?
It seems like Atari's trying to make a top set box.
True.
But what's the difference? Sorry to interrupt. But what's the difference between that and every other console that's come out within the last couple of generations?
I really don't know. That's the whole thing. There's a whole bunch of things that this kind of means. If it's running Linux, that doesn't actually inspire any sort of confidence in me. And I will explain why once we get a little bit deeper into this particular email. Okay. All right. The email continues on. Most TV devices have closed systems and content stores. Linux lets us be more open. You can access and customize the OS, and you can access games you've bought from other content platforms if compatible with the operating system and hardware. Okay. To answer the theme's question, there will be tons of classic Atari retro games preloaded and current titles from a range of studios. We'll start talking titles very soon. Stay tuned. All right. Go ahead, Grey Mouse.
This is going to be a hacker's heaven.
Yeah.
No objections here, dude.
This is what it sounds like. They're setting themselves up. Oh, my goodness. I mean, if you're into that hacking thing, that's your thing. But like you said before, it doesn't instill very much confidence in the system, the security of the system. And
all I know is that when it goes down to the bottom, it says there will be tons of classic Atari retro games preloaded. I already know that all of the Atari 2600 library can fit on a 2 gigabyte card. It'll actually, all of it can fit on a CD. Okay, it takes up less than 500 megabytes. So that right there is okay. If they actually get around to that point and they hash out licensing, which unfortunately at this moment in time, they could say that that's going to be the case, but they aren't showing anything at all.
Wait, is that a selling point?
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that they're trying to market on, and that's nostalgia, obviously.
Yeah, but I understand that, but
when it comes to bringing old games back, licensing is always a question.
I'm not talking about that. I have several emulators in my house, in my possession now, that can do what this Ataribox is going to do.
Yeah, and
without
you would be
all the
correct.
whistles of the internet and all that other stuff. Games.
So basically, we're concerned about new stuff, not being nostalgic to a point, especially with the Atari, since, as you guys have said, everything can be fit on little things, and certain things we're not nostalgic for when it comes to Atari.
No, but wait, there's more. All right. Okay. Now, here's the part. Remember, in our previous video, it wasn't confirmed that they were going to go crowdfunding. But here's the part that cinches it. We are launching Ataribox on Indiegogo this fall. Read pretty soon. To reiterate why. We want you, the Atari community, to be part of this launch. We want you to have early access, grab special editions and pricing, and to have you as active partners in the rollout of Ataribox. We want you to be part of the story. Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. We said before in the previous video that crowdfunding was a red flag. It's even worse now that I know that it's Indiegogo. All right? Reason being is that Indiegogo, unlike Kickstarter, you don't need a functional prototype in order to start an Indiegogo campaign.
So, to take people's money. Just say it. Take people's money.
Here's the other thing about Indiegogo, all right? Unlike Kickstarter, if you don't reach your campaign goal, you're under no requirement to return any of that money to anybody who's actually contributed. All right? So these guys could sit there and set up an Indiegogo campaign for, I don't know, $2 million, all right? And if they raise over $1 million and they're not able to reach their crowdfunding goal, they're really not under any obligation at all to even release any sort of product to you, to anybody who's actually contributed. And that right there is
that's a no-no.
Fucking huge. Yeah, that's
a no-no.
That's huge.
Well, this is an ambitious project. It really is. But are there enough people that are interested in something like this? And especially nowadays, like I just mentioned, 10, 15 minutes ago about emulators. They got emulators that are better suited for this particular type of, I mean, if you're saying, okay, well, it plays 2,600 games, 7,800 games, or whatever it may end up doing. But then it's like all that other stuff is tacked on. Oh, you can surf the internet, you can TV, what's the other stuff?
Go on social media like fucking Facebook and other places like that. No.
What, you're not interested in getting the highest score in ET and posting it online?
No, actually, they might have leaderboards. I think that's something that they would integrate in.
Well, that was never in Atari games before, so.
No, it wasn't. But I just think this is an overambitious project that, like, one of the concerns that the Reverend has, I have too. Indiegogo, you don't have to have a working prototype to take people's money. And I find huge problems with that.
Yeah. And, they want to start this really quick because, like I said in the previous video, and this reiterating again, what they mean by real soon is that in 2 weeks we've got, Blade Runner 2049 coming out. And they went ahead, they licensed out their logo to show up all over the motherfucking place, all right, to be like front and center for that. And they want to go ahead and try to run they're probably going to try to run this Indiegogo campaign the same time that this movie is out on theaters, all right? Or at least start it when the movie hits theaters, okay? Now, but the thing is that how ambitious are they trying to be with this, all right? This is the real kicker, okay? We plan on shipping late spring 2018. So, okay, they have a prototype, and they're hoping to mass produce to ship out to the public in spring 2018, okay? With an expected price range of $249 to $299, depending on specific editions and memory configurations.
The floor is open, guys.
Wait, hang on. November, December, January, February, March, April, springtime.
No, 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's 6 months. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, about 6 months.
What?
That's not the kicker to me. $250 to $299 stuck to me right there. Now, I'm not one to talk about what to spend my money on, but look, if this thing is not going to be for like the future, is this a step in the past? I mean, would you pay that much for this? I mean, come on. If they announce new games, okay, but for a nostalgic thing and, okay, something that basically every computer can do or even a tablet can do, no, for me, it's just not worth it.
Here's something that we failed to mention up until this point, because I just thought about it. Hmm? What was the underlying fault of the Atari? What happened to the Atari? Why did it cause the crash of 1982?
Lack of quality games. Yeah.
Or
what caused?
So now you're bringing this in 2018. There, from what I understand, from what you read, where is the security or the guarantee that there are going to be quality games on this system?
That's the thing. Right now, there is no guarantee for that. In fact, because we're at the end of this email. Okay, just listen to this. Okay. Hope you like what we are sharing today and are ready for lots more in the weeks to come. The Ataribox team. P.S. To confirm what many have asked, the wood edition is made with real wood. So you're fucking telling me.
Finish that with that sentence.
So you're fucking telling me that the kicker, the real selling point that they want to go ahead and give everybody, this is the upskirt peak, all right, of the panties of the Ataribox that they wanted to go ahead and give everybody, was the fact that the wood is real. There is no mention of what type of games, or there's no confirmation of any of the types of games, and we know that it's going to be between $250 to $300.
And it's coming out in 6 months.
Hey, wait,
and they're hoping that it's going to come out in 6 months.
Hey, come on, guys. Hey, we all get wood too, and we can do a lot better in our wood with this Atari than what this Ataribox is going to be doing. But look, no. So that's a selling point. Come on, people. Really, is that a selling point? You're going to look at wood more than games.
According to them, yeah.
No, come on, man.
Well, I'm just saying, Nintendo just put out the NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini.
Oh, the classics.
The classics. Yeah. I'd spend my money on that.
That doesn't go to $300 for either one of them if you play retail.
Let me finish. At scalper's price, before I put any money on the Ataribox. I'm trying to object, and I'm trying. At least I know I got a quality system.
Let me just say this right now, okay? Look, there was a lot of postulating. There was a lot of presumptions on our part. We didn't know exactly what may be involved with what they're saying, but everything that they're going ahead and they're pointing out here, you know, Linux. Open OS, you know, you can go ahead and do streaming applications, social applications, all that other shit, you know, and the games, no mention of what type of games, but there's going to be a lot of them, and that is going to cost $250 to $300. I can now confidently say, all right, that you can go out of your way and get yourself a Raspberry Pi where installing everything uses Linux scripts, all right, for $60. Spend $20 on a 64 gigabyte fucking card, and you can throw Kodi on that bitch and all the emulators, and you will have everything available for literally a third of the fucking price of this thing, all right? And you're not going to have to worry about, oh, I'm going to send my money off to an Indiegogo fucking campaign that holds no fucking guarantee.
Yeah.
No security that you're actually going to get anything in return.
Open OS, man. That's just an open operating system. Seriously?
It's a hacker system, dude. That's what it is. But the thing is, okay, fine, whatever. So, how much are the games going to be?
I don't care. There is nothing about this. Look, where in the previous video, look, in the previous video where I was torn about whether or not I should be excited about this thing, there is nothing about this thing now, other than the fact that there's real wood fucking paneling, all right? That, look, if, let's say the day after tomorrow happens and, you know, we have a superstorm over fucking California, we're all about to freeze to death, I can go ahead and I can burn the fucking Ataribox to try to stay alive, okay? Look, there is absolutely nothing in this fucking newsletter, okay? There is nothing at all. Yeah, there is nothing at all in this fucking newsletter that makes me excited for this fucking product.
The only thing for me that would have saved it if this would have had a whole lineup of games and third-party support. That was the only thing to me that would have got me interested in this. But the news that they put out, and it's like, okay, nostalgic and all this shit that we already got as far as interfaces, as far as being able to go on Facebook and websites and stuff like that, and USB and internet support and all that. We already have all that shit. This nostalgic thing, again, I already have all that shit from Atari specifically. So what will gauge my interest at this point? And it would be new games, but we didn't hear any of that.
Well, nostalgic can only go so far.
True. Okay, anyone in the middle-aged guy is nostalgic about Atari 5200, 7800, Jaguar, the Atari XE, the Atari Lynx?
You know, back when we first made the first video, you know, I mean, I think we mentioned yeah, it would be nice to have Atari, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, the big four. But no.
But only if it were under today's standards.
Correct.
No, as far as the games are concerned. If the Ataribox does that, but fuck, there's no shit. They didn't discuss games because there's no slot in order to put fucking games.
Oh, no, I mean,
well, and the truth of OS, and all you do is stick your.
And like I said, you know, when it comes to all of that, you know, you can do all of this shit for a third of the price, and have a controller too. All right, if you go ahead and you buy yourself a fucking Raspberry Pi, download some ROMs and applications, and watch some YouTube videos on how to fucking install that shit yourself. Okay,
one thing that's interesting too is that if you haven't noticed behind me, behind you, is that we like physical things. We like physical copies of our games. If it's not blatantly obvious here, there's all that is going to be digital copies. It's like it's digital. There's no physical copies.
Like you held up your Raspberry Pi.
RetroPie, yeah.
Well, the RetroPie, yeah.
I mean, no. This is cheaper and having all the games on it than it is to get one of those Atari boxes.
Well, I still have an Atari 2600, and that shit still works. So it's like
Atari 2600 games up here. So I mean, I'm just saying. But no, there's no physical media, and you know, it seems like the gaming industry's trying to beat that out of gamers. Like, you don't need physical copies; you just need digital copies. And this is something. Yeah, I do too. But this is something that they're trying to beat us over the head with until it sticks. And I don't see this being any good. I mean,
first of all, it has to actually be successful as far as raising the money, and then it still has to fucking sell. So I don't think it's going to happen at this point.
Well, what's interesting is how much money is Atari putting into it anyway.
That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem with crowdfunding. They're not
That's what I'm saying. Are they?
That's the whole point of crowdfunding is that they're not.
That was the point that I'm making. Is that so? It's a win-win for them, especially GoFundMe, or what was it called?
Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing. They could take the $2 million that people donated faithfully to them, and just say,
not do anything at all.
Oh shit! It just didn't work out. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Thanks for your money, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you won't see one red cent from me. I tell you that.
Look. Let me just go ahead and wrap this up because like I said in the previous video, I was torn. In this particular one, after reading the email, I am just pissed off. I am literally angry at the audacity that they're going to go ahead and they're going to put this out in front of everybody, and they think that this is going to be a marketable idea. Okay, this is just, like I said in the previous video, I'm not the guy who doesn't want to buy new things, all right? I'm not the guy who, isn't looking for a company from my past to come back and be successful again. Like I said before, I'm still looking forward to that Dreamcast 2 if it ever fucking comes out, But, Sega does what Sega does, and, they just ain't in that. And when I add up all the facts, the fact that, like I said before, Atari has not been in the console business for over 21 years. Fred Chesnays is the 5th corporate owner of the fucking company. The Atari from the Bushnells all the way back that started all the way back in 1979, they are not there. That company does not fucking exist anymore, okay? And that they're sitting there, they're hoping to pawn off a $250 to $300 box on everybody through fucking Indiegogo?
No.
Really? If you're somebody who's going to go ahead and throw your money that way, God bless you, all right? Myself, this just sounds like a steaming pile of bullshit to me. All right? I'm not going to support this.
Again.
Is it?
I'm not going to support this either.
Make that 3. Won't do it. It's just the fact that, again, they didn't take any steps forward.
And if they really have something that can prove that they are taking steps forward, guess what? With this particular email and this particular press release, they didn't show it.
Mm.
They did not show it. All right? But they got real wood paneling. All right, folks, let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you've stayed with us all the way up to this point, thank you very much for following us all the way up until the end. What we really want to know, folks, is what are your thoughts on the Ataribox? What are your thoughts on the brand new information that's come out for it? Are we overreacting here? Are we being pessimistic about this? Or do you want to tell us that we're just a bunch of idiots and assholes for going ahead and voicing our opinions? That's valid, too. You can let us know by leaving us a comment below. While you're at it, if you're so kind, go ahead and mash on that like button. And if you really like what we're doing here and you want to stick around, we hope you subscribe and you hit that notification alarm so that you'll know whenever we go ahead and drop things out. Okay? With that, this bullshit about the Ataribox, I want to stop talking about it right here. All right? I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Oh, and by the way, for any of you who is wondering why I have this, well, come on. It was bought for me. Someone spent hard-earned money for it. I played it. I beat it. Whatever. Credits.
I wonder if they fail in the Kickstarter here. Are they going to bury 1,000 Ataribox units in a fucking landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico?
No,
like
this
they did
time
with
they're
those
going to launch them. This time they're going to launch them in space.
That's to say, if they create 1,000 Atariboxes. Honestly, I don't see too many people funding this.